Naman.
Okay, so ang multiple as I said earlier na ay mga various nga factors
Unsa man
that
sila
play
mga
into
faktora?
it. Part is during the early stages of industrialization,
Okay.
many workers, especially in factories, work long hours with very limited nga time off. So because of things like the recognition of Jewish Sabbath, Saint Monday, which is the tradition of taking a Monday off, often to recover from the weekend, which was apparently a common practice back then.
Mhm.
It led to productivity issues. So and it impacted factory workers. So ang siguro gipush ni sa mga labor reformists at the time to kind of set a particular set of days para makapahuway ang mga trabahante.
So gitagaan og nganong why do they feel the need? Nganong mo trabaho lang tag 7 ka adlaw sa usa ka buwan? Sa usa ka semana, I'm sorry. Ang ano man yun nga duha ra man ka adlaw, nga di man 3 ka adlaw, nga di man 4 ka adlaw, nga man wa man gibali nga duha ra ka adlaw ang ato ang trabaho o niya 5 ka adlaw ang ato ang pagbakasyon. Nganong duha what's with the is that arbitrary? Nagihimo lang na sila og 5 ka adlaw nga weekday, nya duha ka adlaw nga weekend, or naagi na siya method to the madness, I would call. Unsay tanaw nimo?
Okay, so I'm trying to look into it right now. Pero
Yes, please.
Based off of what I can read,
Okay.
so it wasn't something nga preordained. Murag igo ra jud ni gisabutan nila nga 2 days ang day off. So rather than an existing feature of the week, it's widely considered a social construct that evolved over time to kind of balance work and rest, and to hopefully boost the economy by allowing people time to consume goods.
Taysa. Murag na kay nalimtan nga detalye diya da. Nakinumdum ko sa ako ang pag-study sa Biblia katong una nga naamag yoy panahon nga magpahuway ta, di ba? Na yung panahon nga ang Ginoo ni kuno ni pahuway, and so on and so forth. God that He is, He still needs rest, right? So how much more for us, right? So wala na factor in ang pahuway sa tao from a biblical sense. Wala niya.
They're factor in. As I said earlier,
Sige.
Jewish nga Sabbath.
Jewish Sabbath mo na siya.
It was one of the factors that led to them proposing the Saturday in particular as one of the weekends nga kuan day off.
So weekend sa Jewish Sabbath sa ilahang relihiyon, mopahuway gyud sila
sa Saturday
ug Sabado. Pero di ba lain-laing relihiyon, lain-lain man og adlaw nga pahuway, sakto ba ko? Or usara ka buok kana ra yung gitawag nimo og Jewish faith nga magpahuway og Sabado. Ngano man nga naman tay Domingo, di ba? Sa to ang mga Kristiyano diha, di ba? Nga musimba og Domingo, di ba? Nganong Domingo man gyud? Nganong dili man Lunes, nganong dili man Martes, di ba? Unsa man ni siyang pagkaunsaa, nganong Domingo man gyud be? Yeah, weekend gud na siya. Kanang weekend na to pahuway ra ta na siya. Kanang pagsimba day part sa na sa pagpahuway unsa man na siya, or kaning responsibilidad man sa na siya, di ba? Kanang responsibilidad kung nagtuo ka sa imong mga gipang tuo, then mubuhat gyud na niya. So dili na siya mahog og bakasyon, di ba? Dili na siya relaxing, di ba?
So that's a good question. It's a good point na imong gi-bring up nga for the Jewish ang ilang murag considered nga holiday kay Saturday, and for the Christians in particular it's Sunday. So I think especially kay sa US man jud ni na nahitabo ang
correct.
Ang pag-form sa modern concept sa weekend.
Correct.
I think it's because i-take into consider ang Jewish population that is there in the US, and at the same time ang Christian population. Nga for the Christian population, Sunday is considered the holiday. Dira ka mo stop og work and then take time to
nganong gipunan man og Sabado. Nganong dili ra man Domingo day ang kung ato ang Christian teachings requests or asks us or recommends or even asks or demands of us to rest on Sunday. Nganong giapil man ang Sabado? Unsa may labot Sabado?
Well, wala gi-explain dire. Pero if ihuna-huna na to,
Sige,
ang gihatag
Huna-huna ako. Sige, huna-huna ako.
so
sige.
if huna-huna na to, based on unsa giingon gaina na part of the reason for it was to give people time to rest
Okay.
and to give people time to spend the money that they earned from work.
Okay,
So,
because unsa man sige lang trabahong tao, di ba?
lagi, nya.
So dili maka-contribute sa ekonomiya,
Mm.
di ba? Kung walay panahon nga mogasto ang ilang mga empleyado, di ba?
Yes, exactly. So that's why, considering a lot of religions view Saturday as their holiday, so dira sila gusto mo hunong silang
Pahuway,
trabaho, pahuway.
uban Domingo pod.
Ang uban Domingo pod. So it's kind of like taking that into consideration nga, okay, kamo pwede mo ato simbahan ani nga day, and then while everybody else can go spend their money, and then shift na pod the next day.
So all the major religions ang ilahang gitawag og rest day are either Saturday or Sunday, based on your interpretation and
Yeah,
or based on what your holy book says, di ba? Sabado ra gyud Domingo, di ba? Is there a special reason nganong duha ka adlaw ra gyud ang ilahang panahon sa pagpahulay? Nganong man dili man kada adlaw ang atong pahulay? Nganong duha ra man ka adlaw? Nganong usa ra man ka adlaw?
I think ang wala siya gi bring up jud
Okay,
sa
okay.
search.
Okay.
So most likely it was something that was just widely agreed upon lang after being pushed by kaning mga labor reformists.
Labor reformists.
Sila Henry Ford. Yeah.
Pero ang sunod anang pangutana ba? Ang sunod akong pangutana is, di ba sa Amerika man ang Industrial Revolution, di ba? So
Or in the West.
in the West, di ba? So the concept of weekend obviously was hatched during the Industrial Revolution, like you said. So ganun napadpad man sa ato ang nasod ang idea of a weekend. Ngano man giunsa man kanusa man ni Dunggo. Pag Dunggo ni Magellan diri sa Cebu, nag-ingon sila, I therefore declare that Saturdays and Sundays are the weekend. Yehey! Lipay kay mga tao. Nga paghuman naabot bitaw si kisa naman niya si Lapu-Lapu nagdaog sundang naingon ni mga tao. Gikuyawan sila oy. Gikuyawan sila sundang ni Lapu-Lapu. So nganong naunsa man kaunsa nganong naabot man diri sa Pilipinas ang konsepto sa weekend. Ano sabihin binisaya ng weekend ay? Weekend
Bergville?
Sabado, Domingo, weekend.
Na ba Bisaya sa weekend?
Katapusan sa semana siguro. Anyway, so
Okay, wow.
lain na po ng storya. Go ahead.
So, yeah, ang concept sa modern nga weekend, according to Google,
Okay.
kay it slowly became adopted in the Philippines after World War II.
So paghuman na sa mga Amerikano siguro
Yeah.
during the American time na.
Oh yeah, during the American time. So wala exact date nga given to pinpoint this. Pero before that, work days were longer and included Saturdays, with Sundays being the primary day of rest. So sa una, before that, 6-day work week day tadre.
6-day work week tas ani atong una pag abot sa mga American, during or after World War II, they started implementing the 2-day weekend. Di ba? Kaya naman ko yung movement karon nga 4-day work week. Naman kay libro nga popular ka istoran nga the 4-hour work week. Upat na siya ka oras na mo trabaho si Timothy Ferris. And that's that's actually one of the favorite books of Silicon Valley. Na text rin si Boyet Sapong naapoy part sa Mindanao in Bangsamoro areas nga ilang walay work kay Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
So, naapoy di ay.
I looked it up just recently. And
Okay.
It seems like ang Sabbath para sa in Islam is in Friday. So mo nang probably that's the main reason nga inana ang ilang
So kaning concept sa
Weekend.
kaning concept sa weekend di ay mura na siya og gihimo-himo lang nato, di ba? Gihimo-himo lang nato in the sense nga wala gyud naay mga different reasons, different explanations, pero himo-himo ra gyud nato. Mo ba sakto ba ko Ralph? Mo ni gitawag nato og social construct,
Mm.
di ba? Kanang social construct unsa man gyud na siya kanang kuan ka sanina ka og nindot nga maghimo kag kaning mo trabaho ka sa construction mo ba nay itawag nato og social construct or lahi ng social construct pasabta kuno atong mga kaigsuonan ug ako mismo unsa man gyud ang social construct. Go ahead.
Okay. So, sakto ka Jiggy nga kon. This is something that we can consider a social construct.
Social construct. Unsa man ang social construct?
Mm. So, ang kaning social construct is an idea or category that exists because people in a society have collectively agreed to give it meaning. So, it's created, maintained, and understood within the context of a society, rather than stemming from kaning natural or biological nga truths.
Rather than natural or biological, kaning social construct mura na siya agreed upon set of rules, set of beliefs, set of ideas, and that's what a social construct is. So kaning weekend, is that considered a social construct?
Yes,
Anonimo.
yes, it is definitely considered a social construct, especially given the fact nga it's something that started in Western society
Okay.
and didn't exist before that.
Okay.
Wala siya biological nga basis or natural nga basis for it. It's just something that was agreed upon by the labor reformists
Okay.
and by American society.
And
in
of course,
general.
obviously, it's so widespread now that we can safely say that majority of the world agrees with the concept of what a weekend is. Although there is some pockets of resistance karon nga ganahan sila nga ilahang work week is reduced to only 4 days. Di ba na may movement niya na karon, di ba? Especially with all of these mental health movements nga kuwang ra ko nung duha ka adlaw, maybe you should make it 3. So naghisgot ka nga kaning weekend is as an example of a social construct. Mangutana ko nimo sunod siguro and ato man kaigsuonan di kung ganahan mo appeal, text lang 0999-8876-070. Join us on YouTube. Are we on YouTube now?
Yes, sir. We are live.
On TikTok, right?
Live on TikTok, Facebook, and on YouTube.
Tops Media Center. Pangitaa lang mi na mga duha ka gwapo kayo diha nga headphones kami na. Okay? Unsa man ang example og kanang dili social construct. Ingon makag biological and natural. Give me an example of a non-social construct. Go ahead.
Well, if I will, I'm gonna think about it just now. Something that isn't a social construct is sex. There's male and there's female.
Okay.
And that's something that's rooted primarily in biology. You either have XX chromosomes or kanang XY chromosomes. So that's something that's indisputable.
Yeah.
And
sex is not a social construct. Okay, so why is it not a social construct? Because it has biological basis. So what is its biological basis, and how do you account for people who have, for example, 2 genders, for example, diba? Physically have 2 genders. Well, how do you account for people whose genders are not fully formed? How do you account for people who seem to have more of a certain hormone compared to another? Although naturally, if you were to analyze the person, for example, that person is male, but na siya more of the female progesterone hormone or whatever the hormone is for females, right? Na siya daghan siya. How do you account for these quote unquote anomalies?
Okay, so
you actually picked a very sensitive topic, which I love. So let's dig into that. We're no experts here on the matter. Okay,
yes.
we have no medical background whatsoever, even biological background. So among understanding ni aning very very slippery slope that you, my man Ralph, has put us in is very very pedestrian and very kaning secular and very very shallow. Go ahead. I would even say just shallow. You go ahead.
Okay, so I think first and foremost we need to put distinction between sex and gender. Especially how we understand it in the social sciences today.
Yeah.
Sex and gender are 2 separate concepts.
Okay, unsa may nakalahi sa gender. Kay kung pangutanon ko unsa akong gender, moingon man ko nga male ko. Pero kung pangutanon ko unsay sex, moingon ko now. Moingon mo ko now. Sakto na akong tubag dili. Ha? Sakto?
In a way kung
Ha? So
depende sa context.
depende sa context. So pasabta ko nami unsay difference sa gender o sa sex. Go ahead. Unsa man ang gender? Let's start with gender. Unsa man ang gender?
So okay, as I said earlier, ang sex, it's something rooted in biology.
Rooted in biology. Okay.
Yeah, XX chromosomes, XY chromosomes.
Okay.
And then ang gender, it's considered a social construct.
Okay.
So this is something more like when it comes to like the concept of being a man, being a woman, what is a man, what is a woman?
Okay.
So a lot of people these days say that being a man is living out living your life in a particular way. So if you live your life in that manner, then you can call yourself a man.
Okay. So unsa may, for example, what particular way would you describe a man? Give me like a few ways what a man is, for example.
Well, that's the thing, especially because this is a very it's something that can really differ person to person.
Okay. So wala day handbook day on what a man is, right? Wala siya, wala. Nakinumdum ko na aman to'y show si Jimmy Kimmel a long time ago. Gitawag nila og kaning The Man Show. I don't know if you have ever saw that. If you ever seen that. Anyway.
Old
so
school.
kanang idea of what a man is, the gender of being male or man, a man is up for grabs. Pasabot nimo or walay naghimo og handbook niya na nga written in stone nga dili na gid mausab mo'y pasabot nimo?
Well, for the most part, whenever I've heard people try to describe how they identify between man and woman,
Okay.
it's a difference of one, how they feel on the inside,
Okay.
and at the same time how they express that through their lifestyle choices.
Okay.
So typically, from what I see, when people identify themselves as a man, they tend to live out rather masculine nga lifestyle.
Masculine nga lifestyle. Unsay pasabot ng masculine nga lifestyle? Di ba all of us, both male and female, do we have muscles ba? Ang female na ba muscles po?
Oh, yeah.
So kung ang female na ay muscles, yung male na ay muscles, kung masculine lifestyle ko, man ko. Pero kung babae ko, niya namsa ko yung muscles. Unsaon man na ako pag dili masculine lifestyle ang ako ang muscles be. Sabta ko na ko be.
Okay.
Ha? Lisod, di ba? Lisod, di ba?
Lisod siya i-explain actually.
Kay sa pag tinura himo ra man na nato, di ba? Mo'y gitawag ginatog social construct, di ba? So kanang gender is what you said is a social construct. Himo lang nato ang idea of what a female and what male is. Pero kanang sex, biologically rooted na siya. So, imo mang gi-root na siya og usa ka siyensya, di ba? Kanang biolohiya or biology, di ba? So, unsa man din ang biology di ay? Kay, mura man na siya, magtanaw ka, maminaw ko nimo, mura pasagdan ta na siya, rooted in biology. As if I did not notice it, right? But I'm noticing it now. I'm saying it out there. Unsa man din ang biology di ay?
Well, biology is
the study of
living organisms.
Oh, okay.
So human beings, animals,
the study of organisms. So that's
germs.
That's a science, di ba? Kanang science, unsa man ang science? Dili ba na siya mo fall under the description of a social construct? Dili man na siya himo lang sad nato or kanang science kaning naa na gyud ang science diya paggawas ni Adam and Eve na day science book ano yang libuhato na to unsa man ang science diya dili na siya mo fall under social construct. Tanaw nimo Ralph, go ahead. 0999-887-6070. Join us on our YouTube feed, Tops Media Center. Please press subscribe. Atong gisgutan karong buntaga kanang social construct. Unsa magbinisaya ng social construct? Social construct, unsa di ba? Ato lang pag-pronoun.
Pag-pronoun.
Sige. Unsa man ang science diya, dili na siya social construct. Dili na siya mo fall under the definition of what a social construct is. Nangutana lang ko, ha? Nangutana lang ko. I'm not making any judgments. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, and I genuinely don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
Like, can we consider these? What can we consider science? Can we consider history? Can we consider math social? No, math has is something observable. There's observable truth to it. 2 + 2 is always 4.
But the concept of numbers, for example,
the concept of
isn't
numbers.
that a social construct? Like, for example, na ako'y duha ka buok bato diri, di ba? Duha ka buok bato. I don't have words to describe what 1 and 2 is. Nala ko'y duha ka bato diha, di ba? Sa akong, I'm a caveman. One, two. So unsa man, like mubutho lang na siya from out of nowhere just because there's two of them.
No,
What do you think of my impersonation of a caveman? 1, 2. So moabot lang siya kinana by mo because I was once a caveman a few million years ago. So mo ana lang siya, mobutho lang siya galit nga 1 and 2 is a number.
Yeah.
How will it arise?
I think it arises from the social construct that is language.
So kanang lingwahe. Lingwahe. Kanang lingwahe hinimo sa nako. Jiggy construct na. Jiggy construct. So kanang lingwahe social construct sa din di ay.
Yeah, we language
hinimo ra sa nato di ay.
Language is
Oh my God, really?
considered a social construct.
So dili
Like, how do we arrive to the point nga we're able to set meaning to certain arrangement
or
of
ideas,
letters?
diba? Like 1, 2, diba?
Yeah. So it spawned from an agreed upon decision in a society somewhere, and language. A lot of language is these days like. It's ever changing. Like we talked about last time. Language is something
like a living organism.
Like a living organism that constantly changes. The same is true for social constructs. It's something that's ever changing though. At least that's what they say.
Okay. So do you agree with things being social constructs? I mean, like you do agree because you were just stating it as a fact. Nga gender is a social construct while sex is a biological truth, right? Nga naagi male, naay female, pero kanang kung babae ka or lalaki ka, it is what they would call a spectrum, di ba? Do you agree with such social constructs? Because kanang social construct, it only gains power if people agree with it, di ba? Kung dili magkasinabot ang mga tao sa usa ka butang nga himo lang, then it loses its power or it ceases to be a social construct, di ba? Or it's just a jiggy construct, di ba?
Yeah.
Right? Sakto ba ko?
Yeah. Mahimo na lang siya your construct.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I do agree nga. It really feels like a lot of the examples that you can find online when you try to search what is a social construct and all that, and then when you try to apply the definition to it, it's something that's agreed upon, and only within a certain social context can the meaning exist. So without the agreement of the people, and mawala jud ang meaning to certain things. Like, for example, another example I read was currency.
Money.
Yeah, money is something.
According to my favorite professor and historian, si Yuval Harari, ingon siya nga money kuno is the greatest story ever told. Kay posible kuno nga dili mo makasinabot og relihiyon. Pero sa matod pa niya in one of his TED Talks, ingon siya nga pero si Saddam Hussein, kung tagaan ng dolyares, no matter how much he hates democracy, no matter how much he hates the idea of America, he will accept the almighty dollar because money is the greatest story ever told. What do you think of that?
I think that's a very good point, and I can definitely see where he's coming from because I think if I'm remembering correctly, a lot of what Saddam Hussein did was kind of like blackmailing the UN to give him more money to do certain things. So so yeah, he definitely wasn't a fan of democracy, but if you give him money,
He will accept it.
he will accept it wholeheartedly.
Oh. Speaking of construct,
Ooh.
who is this guy? What is happening? What is going? I'm confused now. What is what? Why do we have a yellow rat? What is it, like a jaundiced rat? What is this? What is this? Who is this? Who are you?
Hello.
Who are you, sir? Are you a sir or a ma'am? And it looks
I'm a
like
mouse.
and it looks like his ears are made out of cheese. Oh my
Yeah.
god! Now I'm confused. Is this cheese?
It
or
is cheese, yes.
Or is this a rat or a mouse? What is this? What is happening?
It's cheese.
It's cheese. It's a cheese-shaped mouse.
Yes.
Am I correct?
That's correct.
So what
Jiggy.
what brings you? Oh, how do you know my name?
I've heard about you
Really?
on 105.1. That's why I'm
Oh
here.
my god!
And I bought cheese.
I have extended my popularity not just to humans but to other life forms, including rats. So what is funny, rat? Does this rat, sir or ma'am, have a name? Are you a her or
I'm not a rat.
or a
I'm
him?
a dead mouse.
Are you
Yeah, he said mouse.
Dead mouse.
Sorry.
Dead
So
mouse.
do you have a gender or a sex? What?
I am both.
You're, what?
You have both gender and sex. Okay.
Hermaphrodite.
I have the best of both worlds.
So would that be considered a hermaphrodite?
Looks like it.
Okay.
A hermaphrodite mouse.
A hermaphro mouse.
Yeah, there
so,
you go.
So what brings you here to the studios of 105.1 TMC? Did you come from what particular country? Did you come from Norway? Did you come in the luggage of Sorensen or?
Yeah, I heard about this guy is going to be performing later on here, so
Okay.
I had to show up.
Okay. Why does this mouse have a thick British accent? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
It's very interesting.
What is this?
Wait, is it British or it sounds more Australian actually?
British, Australian.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember the movie Ratatouille? Inundom Gato?
Yeah, yeah.
But he was French, right?
Yeah, that was a French.
French.
Oh.
So this is not a French mouse. This is a British mouse.
British mouse.
So what happened to your ears? Why are there holes from different parts?
Because I'm cheese.
You're made of cheese.
Yeah.
a mouse-
So mouse is like cheese, right? So,
Mouse made of cheese. So in the same way that you have two genders and you can go truck yourself, you are a mouse made of cheese. Does that mean you can also eat yourself?
Possibly.
What?
He said
I would like to try.
How?
Wait, can you do it in
But
front
there's
of
a
us
word
right
for that, and I don't want to say it.
So what is happening? What can we do for you this morning? Is there anything that you need from us?
Well, later on, you're going to be hearing a selection of tracks by this particular person.
A mouse that plays music.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And I'm also in Fortnite.
In Fortnite?
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I don't understand. I know Fortnite is a place a virtual place. Is that what it is? That you play games and stuff? What is Fortnite?
Fortnite is
Why do you have a cell? Wow. How does this mouse know how to play with a cell phone?
I don't
It's
have
an
Face
iPhone
ID
too.
yet.
What the? Naunsa naman yung pagkaunsa nga na may ilaga sa ato ang booth sa atong studio nga ang iyahang composition is made out of
Cheese.
cheese. Unsa man nga klase nga cheese? Is this expensive cheese that I can have with our wine which we had last night?
Fortnite.
That's you. But that's
you are in Fortnite.
But you haven't you hadn't eaten your ears yet, right?
No, I have different heads.
you have different heads.
Oh my
Depends
God.
on the mood. If I'm feeling cheesy today, I feel like I'm cheese.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so you were saying you're going to be playing music
Yeah.
as a dead mouse made out of cheese.
Yeah.
When is this and where is this going to be?
This is going to be at 1 o'clock today here on TMC 105.1.
Oh, I never got the memo. What? Why
I didn't either.
What?
Oh
what?
my gosh.
What is happening?
Where's Kuya Magic? We need to speak to him because I told him to tell you guys.
Okay.
Maybe it's just another communication lapse.
Yeah,
We always have this communication lapse in this station, right?
Yeah,
So-
a lot of communication errors here.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
really need
yeah.
to fix
So,
the group
so
chat.
Kuya Magic, please, pasabtaming anong I can't speak in Bisaya, I can understand. Kuya Magic, please let me understand why there's a dead mouse in the studios of 105.1 TMC made out of cheese. Okay? Nga
Well,
naman,
it's actually International Dead Mouse Day.
internet.
International Dead
Yes.
Mouse Day.
I think
didn't see
that's
that.
another. I don't think that's a social construct. I think that's a dead mouse construct.
Yeah, I think that's a dead mouse construct.
You
for
just
sure.
made it up, right?
Yeah, right on the spot.
Yes.
So we were just talking about how money, kwarta, is the greatest story ever told. Kung ang kontra sa demokrasya, like we mentioned earlier, Saddam Hussein, tagaan nimo og dolyares, dawato na niya, kay kibaw siya what he can do with the almighty dollar, right? So kanang kwarta is a social construct, right? Kaning kwarta, naingon man sila, si Yuval Harari, like I said, the greatest story ever told. If it's just a social construct, do you think we could live in a world without this particular social construct?
It's something really hard to imagine.
Okay.
Especially because we've grown up used to using money.
Okay.
So trying to imagine a world without money
Okay.
is really kind of hard to wrap your head around.
Okay.
But I think it would be certainly a very interesting thing to try.
Mhm.
Although I heard that there are like small communities of people that try to live their life without money. So like a very communal nga lifestyle. I think one particular group, I don't know if they use money actually.
Murag mag-barter lang sila, di ba?
Like magbarter like
O maghinuwamay lang sila.
Oo.
Kinumdum ko na ako'y na basahan nga kaning murag community. It's actually a building. What they do is they just share things. Like for example, katong vacuum cleaner. Atong gitanaw nato nakadungog tagaganiha, di ba? Instead of everybody buying a vacuum cleaner, they have a spot for it. They leave it something. They have like a cabinet somewhere central. And kung ganahan kag vacuum cleaner, kuha lang nimo ang vacuum cleaner. So the vacuum cleaner is not just for one household, it's for all. Let's just say 10 households. Murag na murag barter.
Yeah, I think,
Hinuwamay lang.
yeah, I think that's if we're living in a world without money, that's probably how things are going to look.
Okay.
It's all about exchanging of possessions,
Value.
of-
Or services, di ba?
or services, something like that, without necessarily putting money in between all of that, which is really hard to imagine. And I think the community nisod sa ko huna kay gosh, what are they called?
The mga gypsies kanang mga
dili ang gypsies.
Mga-
Kanang they live primarily away from technology. Kanang a community in the US. What are they called?
Anyway, I think I know what you're talking about.
Amish. The Amish.
Amish. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
They live a communal lifestyle, pero I don't know if they've given up on money. I'm not 100% certain, pero I know they live a communal lifestyle where, for the most part, it's all about helping exchanging services with one another, and I don't know about how they manage their belongings though. Pero I know it's all about helping each other, like daw in a communal nga setting. Pero yeah, when it comes to belongings, I do not know. The mouse took his head off.
Oh my God. Oh, it's Kuya Magic.
Hello.
Oh hey.
It is Kuya
I didn't
Magic.
do that without you looking.
Oh no. Okay.
On the way
Jeez.
for deep conversation.
Anyway, he's coming up with a magic hour.
Okay.
Money is like you said a social construct, and you can't imagine a world nga walay kwarta, di ba? Because
yeah.
we are already so used to the idea of money that we can't imagine a world without it. Pero that's also what sets us apart from human beings, from other life forms, right? I think of myself as a superhuman. That's my jiggy construct. So that's what sets us apart from other animals, other mammals, diba? Kita ramay living organism, life form na makahimo-himo og storya, di ba? Ang example ni Ana is, for example, tagaan nako sa akong usa ka kamot na ako'y 100 peso bill, 1,000 peso bill, sa usa ka kamot na ako'y saging, ihatag na, ipakita na nako sa unggoy, 10 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times, ang unggoy, kwaon gud niya ang saging. Diba? Because he does not understand the social construct which we, Homo sapiens, made up
among ourselves.
Among ourselves money. So, iyan ko, ang saging. Yun. So, that's actually, kuno, one of the reasons why we have become such a successful life form because of our ability to cooperate. And the only way that we as a species can cooperate is through stories, through social constructs. So, mo nang successful kay ta kay pwede raman kuno nga ang mga unggoy magtapok-tapok sila, 5 kabuok sila na herd of sheep, di ba? Na ay kaning flock of birds, di ba? Na ay school of fish, na say kind of cooperation.
Yeah.
Pero kita, there's no life form in that we are aware of nga has cooperated at this scale. For example, politics, ideologies, religions allow for people to cooperate by such huge scales, by the billions, diba?
Yeah.
Kaya we have constructed the idea, for example, of democracy, right? If we talk of democracy, right, then we know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
If we talk about, let's just say, Christianity, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we can easily agree on, let's just say, one book, for example. We all know where we got the information. So it allows for massive cooperation. That's why we're such a successful life form compared to the monkey or any other life form for that matter, because other life forms dili man sila makahimo-himo og storya. Dili man sila makahimo-himo og storya nga kung kaning magtigom ta og saging diri, kaning inika ugma kung wala na saging kaning aton ning kanon, di ba? Dili man sila dili man sila makahimo anang istorya, dili man sila makahimo-himo. So mo na nga successful kuno kaayo ta because of storytelling. And I think storytelling is really another way of saying social constructs, because I think stories are social constructs, di ba?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a bunch of people who are listening to us right now. Kinsa ni sila?
Okay, we have some viewers over here at our TikTok live. We have Monster BT 105. Oh, 105.
Oh, okay.
We have Monster BT 105.9.
Oh, thanks for
Hello.
listening, you guys.
We also have
Atoning kaigsuonan, atoning mga amigo sa uban nga estasyon na. Naman tayo, ang mga amigo na magunitanan. Kanang atong pag-away-away kunuhay niya atong una, dili man na hinimo-himo. That's another social construct.
Oh, we also have Jackie sa 08 who says, Good morning, Jackie sa. Maing buntag gani mo diha. We also have Jen PH who just joined the live stream. Hello, Jen. Good morning.
Dagang salamat.
We have your C. Jane, Sean Benaventura, Jombi Labrador, Chichi, and Jolly Bangs. Hello, maing buntag kanino.
So what do you think of what we're talking about, the social constructs? So, naghisgot man ta og social constructs allow us to cooperate. Because mura og naman tayo gi unwritten rule, unwritten understanding of what's supposed to be, di ba? Ayun, ani gini siya, di ba? Kung maghimo kag radio station, na gini, ani, di ba niya? Baghuman, ang imuhang tingog kayo, it has to be a certain way. Lang natay mga written or unwritten rules ba? Nga gihimo-himo na mo ni nindot mo ni bati, di ba? Himo ra gina, that's in a way it's very arbitrary, di ba?
Yeah. In a lot of ways, Jude. So, wait, I'm trying to understand ang question. Your question is, do I agree with using social constructs or unsa man? Like, I'm trying to understand the question.
Do you
No.
Do you agree that No, I did I ask you any question about that matter? No, I'm just demonstrating to you our advantage. That's why we are so successful as a species, because we have that ability to make stories, to story tell. We can make all of these social constructs. Again, another example that I may have brought up is the idea of a corporation, di ba? Kanang korporasyon, for example. let's just say sa may popular nga brand
Apple?
kanang San Miguel.
San Miguel.
San Miguel, di ba? San Miguel beer, di ba? Imagine simba ko may tabo ni hopefully di may imagine masunog tanang San Miguel sa tibuok kalibutan. Di ba? Masunog tanan niya. Ang tagiya sa San Miguel, ang mga tagiya sa San Miguel, humag sunog, ilalang papaon ang abog sa sunog, maghimo na sa sila in due time, maghimo na po sila lain nga building sa San Miguel. Ang napanaw, ang nawagtang ang mga building raman. Ang the idea of a corporation is still there. It still exists, di ba?
Good point.
So kanang San Miguel, it's a social concept. Hinihimo-himo ra na nato nga idea. Kanang mo ng mga korporasyon, mga partnership, mga whatever. These are just made up things. We have like one made up thing after another, and sometimes some of us can't already tell which is which, right? Which is a truth and which is just a biological construct. Akong pangutanan niya ba, what good is it to be able to identify that something is just a social construct and something is actually what did you say? How did you describe it? A truth?
Something based in biological truth.
Truth. Okay. Does it have to be biological? That's that's rather specific, right? Because, for example, is a mountain a biological thing? Is a rock a biological thing?
I guess to expand a bit more, okay, something based, something that's natural or based on biological truths.
So natural.
So natural truths. Probably.
So what good is that?
Something I can touch, therefore it's real.
So
It's
for
not
example,
necessary-
this table is real because I can touch it, right?
Yeah.
So this is not a social construct, although
Yes.
it is a social construct that we need tables.
Yeah, it's a social construct that we define this as a table.
Okay.
Because as my old philosophy teacher once said, what is a table? How do you define a table? So he
Saan
was-
ni sorry ayo sa table.
Oh.
Sige. Padayon.
Pero yeah, Motogi point out niya, I think it was to maybe it was kind of alluding to the concept of social constructs. Why is this considered a table? Why is this the word we use to describe this thing and all that? And where do we draw the line on like the function of a table and all that?
Unsa may nakanindot niya na Ralph nga make that distinction between a social construct and what is a biological and a natural truth. Why does it help us? Why is it a good thing to know? Or is this like a useless information?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it yet.
What is the utility of knowing that
Like-
something is a social construct? Does this apply only to, let's just say, if you're in psychology, for example, nga para dili kin mo dibdibon, dili kin mo damdamon ang mga butang sa kalibutan, maybe you have to get reminded sometimes, and I think everybody has some mental health issues every now and then, right? This is I think universal, right? So maayong buntag nimo diha, kinsa ni sila? Si Jen PH. Daghang salamat sa inyong pagpaminaw ug pagtan-aw sa Talamban, si Jen PH. Kinsa pa?
We also have Palvino Jerwin. Hello. Welcome to the show.
apil
Thanks
sa-
for listening.
Appeal sa among conversation kay murag hapit mi na lumos des kalawom sa among gistoryaan. So what utility is that? Is that useful for us to know nga kaning atong mga gipangbuhatanan social construct base hinenong masubraan na sila nga nothing is real. Sounds like a song. Sounds like a song from the Beatles, right? Nothing is real and nothing to get hung about. Strawberry fields forever. Anyway, so what use is it?
Yeah.
Nga makaibaw ta.
I think
Nga hinimo ran nato ang mga butang sama sa kwarta, sama sa korporasyon, sama sa relihiyon. Nga these are just made up things.
yeah. Well, how I've tackled the subject of kaning mga social constructs, Okay, it's primarily been sa academic na setting.
Correct. Yeah, that's
like
why.
during sa classes.
That's
and
because
all
that's the
that.
only way we can tackle
Yeah.
this one from
Yeah.
that vantage point. Otherwise, we don't tackle it. We just accept it, right, as it is.
So I think first and foremost, just being able to identify it is in it of itself one of the useful aspects of knowing what a social construct is. And it also helps us understand where a lot of practices are coming from. Nga, as time goes on, biya, kay some of the things we do in society, it's just kanang learned programming nga you do it because everybody else is doing it, and this is how it's always been done, kind of thing. So I think
You do it because this has always been, right?
yeah. And so
So-
I think the main reason
So, but
why
isn't that kind of flawed thinking, though? Just because it's always been doesn't mean that it will always be.
yeah,
right?
that's the argument
Isn't that dangerous? Isn't
of
that
studying.
Yeah.
That's the argument in favor of studying social constructs, so that we'll be able to take a look at what practices are what's being practiced now, and see okay, maybe this needs to be changed, maybe that needs to be changed.
Let me give you an example of a social construct that is deadly. Daghan man kayo mga deadly social constructs. Let me give you one. The idea of nations, right? Kanang mga nasod.
Oh yeah.
Na ay Ukraine, na ay Russia, na ay Palestine, na ay Israel, na ay Philippines,
China.
na ay China, di ba? Those are social constructs. Do you agree?
Yeah, they are.
So what they did and what they're doing now, at least Russia and Ukraine, they're sending soldiers, diba? Soldiers to kill each other, right? So because of an imaginary boundary of what they think are nations, right? What do you think of how deadly that social construct is? Ikaw, kung sundalo ka ba, don't you ever think about that? Like, I'm fighting a war that, might kill me over this stupid social construct of nations, right? Like, ngano man abay, why don't people think like us? Are we just weird that we don't think like that? This is just an idea that you guys made up a long time ago, right? So what do you think of that? Nga kanang social constructs that become deadly. Should we stop these social constructs? Sorry.
I don't really I haven't really thought about this in particular.
Can you even stop social constructs to begin with, right?
Yeah, I think it's something that's always going to exist.
Okay.
And as for the concept of the social construct that is a nation, I think primarily it's used as a uniting concept for a group
certain
of people.
people, yeah.
Yeah, a certain group of people who live in a certain
Area, yeah.
And the borders are just mainly made up lines nga. Okay, I'm gonna draw this on the map.
Nganong
This is
pinatyanay man
mine.
sila bay? Nganong mga pinatyanay man sila kibaw man sila nga himo ra na. Ngano man ko pasabta ko nako.
Well, it's not always nga what you call this, the people who are engaging in the fight, the soldiers who are engaging in the fight, dili man sad sila ang nagbuot nga magsugod tag gira. It's the people,
The leaders.
running
The leaders,
nations.
oo. Could it be that the reason why the social construct that is a nation that is, let's just say, Ukraine and Russia is so powerful is because of something else? Could it be that it is not a war of land, but a war of resources? Magubat sila dili kay na social construct as nations, but kung imuhan ning lugara, mas daghan ka og kwarta, mas daghan ka og resources. Kung imo ning ilugon, mas daghan ka og kwarta para ipakaon sa imong mga tao. Could it be that they're also using or the conflict is rooted on another social construct that is money, that is resources?
Yeah, I definitely agree with
Okay.
that. Nga, I think, in my personal opinion, the main driver for all conflicts, for all wars, or nations basically send hundreds of thousands of people to die for them. It's always been about resources and money. It's all about I want to expand to this land because who knows unsay natural resources nga naa dira nga pwede nako usurp for myself, usurp for my nation, something along the lines of that. I think that's always been the mindset of war. So every now and then siguro muhatag sila justification, like let's say spreading our religion, pero no,
Spreading democracy.
spreading democracy,
Yeah.
like teaching them our ways. But no, I think it's always been about resources, a resource grab.
Ato ko nung biraho ng atong conversation closer to home. Kanang politics na to, di ba? Sige manig bugno ang atong mga gobernador, mga mayor, mga politiko. Sige away sila ba? Kanang politika ba? Is that a social construct? Hinihimo ra po na nato nga naay mayor, naay gobernador, hinimo-himo ra man nato, di ba?
Yeah.
Kibao man ta na, di ba? But do people think like that? Do they think like that? And is that healthy for them to do their jobs, whatever, to serve the people, and because that's what they're there for. But to understand that this is just a social construct, we just made it up, right? So kung why do they take it personally? Why is it? Why are they like mura og why are they consumed by it?
I think, well,
Are they not
If-
as smart?
if
Are they not as smart as you? Nga kibaw nga social construct?
dili pad sa inana, no.
Oh.
I think it's dili sad siya ingon sa lack of knowledge on their part. Pero I think when it comes to social constructs, most people just choose to ignore the current academic understanding of what a social construct is, and they just choose to instead carry on these existing beliefs. So a lot of I guess if we're talking about ang kaning mga
Magbugno.
magbugno ay na sila,
Mag-away sila sa
mag-away
social
na
media,
sila,
sa
and all that. I think it's not necessarily due to the construct of the position itself. I think it's because of I think primarily pride, personal pride or ego sa parts sa mga politicians, and them wanting to appear as if they are passionate or care enough that they want to represent their constituents in a certain way. I think similar to I think everybody who goes into a public setting will tend to always try to portray themselves in a certain way.
So there is a kind of performance here. There's a kind of playing pretend. There's a kind of acting, right? And are they really acting, or do they really think that this thing is real and they're not acting. They're actually doing it because this is something that's real.
It's really hard to tell just from an outsider's perspective. Kay
Are we just being played?
Yeah.
Nga duwa-duwa na sila diha, nga acting ra na sila diha,
Lagi.
ga perform ra na sila diha, but so that they can portray the role of whatever position they're in, right? But the
Like-
truth is they don't really care when they go home.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is that true? And that's such a cynical way of looking at things. But could that be true? Could that be true?
I think na ay possibility jud nga true siya, pero I agree also nga it's a very cynical way of looking at things. Pero at the same time, I've always seen it as performative to an extent. It's I think especially when it comes to, I don't know if you've heard this, bro. If you tell yourself a lie enough times, it becomes the truth in your mind. I think I've heard that said somewhere.
Yeah, a lie spoken and repeated often enough becomes a truth. That's what it means. That's what it says. I mean,
yeah.
that quote that you talked about. So kanang social construct, kibaw sila nga social construct nila, uli nila silang balay, dili sila motuo ni ana. Pero nasa uban nga ilag yung gidibdib, di ba? Ingon sila, akong kinabuhi kay panerbisyo gyud, di ba? Kinanglan gyud ko magmuserbisyo and so on and so forth. Kanang idea of muserbisyo ba? Service. What is that? Is that also a kind of social construct? Kasi may gasulti nimo nga you need to serve others. Like
yeah.
who made that up? Is that something that is natural, or is that a social construct? The desire to help other people.
I think it's definitely a social construct.
Okay, you think so?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I like the idea of serving others without asking for anything in return. I think it's primarily a social construct. In fact, I agree with the observation nga human beings are inherently greedy people.
Mm-hmm.
Na when push comes to shove, more often than not, people will prioritize themselves.
Mm.
And so I would agree nga kan ang the concept of helping one another without asking for anything in return, or maybe expecting something in return. I think those types of actions are a social construct. I think you could even link it towards to religion, because a lot of religions teach you to be charitable to with your neighbors and all that, help the needy and stuff like that. So I think that, I mean, naman jud na sa tao pod nga you can also get that feeling of wanting to help somebody else.
So bay kaning social constructs nga tong hisgutan katong adlaw ba? Ngano man? Nganong naghimo-himo man ta og mga social constructs? Why not let things be? What's the purpose of a social construct? Ngano man? Unsa may tuyo nato?
I think for the same reason nations exists, it's a set of unifying practices or unifying beliefs, so that
Atong purpose is unity?
Oh no.
Cooperation?
Yeah, unity and cooperation.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Was
main goal.
I know I already mentioned that earlier, but I wanted to re-ask the question and revisit the topic, because it could be something else. Our motivations could be something else. So is it really like, I'm gonna create money so that we can cooperate? Is that the mindset of the person who invented money? I'm gonna write the idea of socialism. I'm gonna write the idea of democracy so that people will cooperate all over the world. Is that the motivation?
I think so. I just based off of how I feel the origin of other social constructs
Okay.
came.
Okay.
I think that really was the goal, just to find a way to maybe convince people to cooperate with one another.
So find a way for people to cooperate. So but unsa may, so kung mag-cooperate ta, unsa may makuha nako? Maghimo ko guan, maghimo ko og idea. Let's just say the idea of money. Unsa may makuha nako? Nganong importante man para nako? Nganong mag-ibinto man kog demokrasya? Nganong mag-ibinto man kog korporasyon? Nganong mag-ibinto man kog Ginoo? Nganong mag-ibinto man kog sapatos, whatever. So nganong unsa may ang end goal diana? Dili na sad mobalik na punta sa the original social construct, which is money, which is resources.
No, I think.
Do you think so? No.
I think for this particular conundrum, I think conjud siya. I think the people agreed to do them because it came with the benefit of being able to live in a society, being able to.
Kanang society, that's another social construct, by the way.
Yeah, it's another social construct,
Okay.
and because ang perceived nga benefits gani of being able to live in a society where if you pay your taxes, you'll be able to enjoy certain benefits such as I guess.
So I'm analyzing what you're saying. So the purpose of social constructs is to minimize suffering. Sakto ba ko? Minimizing suffering.
In a way, because we're trying to get people to agree to working with one another for their own benefits, for their own benefit primarily, because they want to be able to live in a society that where
has less pain,
presumably
less suffering, right?
Presumably, you will be better off living.
Yeah. So better off meaning less pain, again, less suffering. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about it, right? That's what it is. To get away from pain as far as you can as far as you can, and move to a place of less pain, less suffering, right?
Yeah.
As to how far you can go, we don't know, right? I mean, like that we have people who are ridiculously rich these days. We have billionaires all over the world, right? And the inequality of billionaires to the regular people is so wide apart, diba? That I think we've overdone it, right? I think we have become, at least some of us have become so successful as a human being that they have murag layo na kay siya sa suffering ba, mura na siya ganing sa iyang pagpalayo sa suffering, mura na siya ganing he has accumulated so much protection from suffering, the suffering of poverty, or the suffering of not being able to eat, the suffering of not having to pay your medical bills. Murag layo na kay siya diha. Nga murag na sobraan na sa, di ba?
Yeah. Pero at the end of the day, I think one of our viewers, Bill Ryan Rances,
Hi, Bill.
He summarized it very well.
Okay.
Ang main reason, Jude, for all the social constructs is a form of survival. We're trying to, it as he said, social constructs keep us in check and they keep the society running. Monang akong understanding sad of social constructs. So
To keep the society running, main reason is survival. It kind of reminds me of Charles Darwin's survival of the fittest, right? So kinsa na siya, si Bill?
yeah, si Bill Rances. Napaong akong monitor.
Napaong. Ngwapo sa imong paong. Ang atong tak na karon alas 12:15 na ang inyong gipaniud to kay social construct. Kanang gutomon ka bay? Kanang gutomon ka? Social construct na dili.
Ha?
Biological truth na. So, tanang tao mukaon gyud.
Mukaon jud ng tao.
Pero kanang na may kultura nga mukaon og ok-ok, na may kultura nga mukaon og baboy, na may kultura nga dili mukaon og meat. Unsa man na siya? Social construct na siya. Right?
Kanang ang social construct.
Kanang dili mukaon og insects, di ba? That's cultural, di ba? For example, kanang unsa imong kanon depende man sa imong kultura, di ba?
Yes.
Na may ubang kultura nga relihiyon, for example, nga dili mo kaon og baboy, di ba? Napoy uban nga dili pwede nga magkabuhat ni ani and all that. These are just made up stuff, right? These are social constructs. So kamo diha, kung nangaon na mo, dili na social construct, that's a natural truth. Tinudanay gyud na siya nga gigutom gyud mo kay that's a biological truth na sa, di ba? Pero kung inyong gikaon, dili mo kaon karon kay intermittent fasting mo kay ganahan mo masiksi, that is a social construct. Kanang siksi, di ba?
Oh.
Di ba?
Beauty is a
social construct, di ba? Pero kung matambok man kag madaot ka nga nasa na siya a health truth, di ba? Nga posible nga kung tambok ka, of course it doesn't apply to all, but most of the time weight and size is actually related to health, diba? Diba? So that's not a social construct, right?
Yeah, it's not a social construct. It's something that's
a biological truth, diba? Pero ngilad ang tan-awon usa ka butang compared to another. That's a social construct.
That is a social
That's
construct.
the social construct. So kamo diha kung naniudto na mo daghang salamat sa inyong pagpaminaw. Do understand nga you're being hungry for lunch is not a social construct. It's real, in fact. That's why muhunong nami kaya ang among biological truth is already kicking in, di ba?
Yeah, it is.
Murag ni tingog na akong tiyan, bay. Murag vacuum cleaner.
Oo.
Oh, kuya okay sanan. So daghang salamat sa inyo pagpaminaw sa atong programa Top of the Morning. I hope you can continue on with the conversation. All of our posts are still there sa YouTube, sa Facebook, sa Instagram, sa TikTok, Tops Media Center. Palihog mi og join our conversation because we'd like to make this conversation as meaningful and as constructive as possible. Notice the word constructive as possible because we want you guys to help us with our conversation about social constructs.
Yes.
So, place your comments there and let us see what you think about our conversation. Thank you so
Shout out
much.
kay Rolando Enoch, Alpin Abayon, Jovin Taneo, John Verhel, watching live from UC Maine.
Good morning or good afternoon, our friends from UC Maine. We just had a conversation with Augusto Go not too long ago to talk about something that's a construct, which was being constructed.
Under construction.
Under construction, kaning Cebu Coliseum, right? So daghang salamat sa inyong pagtanaw and let us give way to Kuya Magic. He's coming up next together with his friendly mouse for the Magic Hour at 1 p.m. Our time now, atong tak na karon. This is another social construct. Time, right? It is now 2:17. Maayong udto.